Hey there, welcome to my third video in my Hardspace Shipbreaker series. We're going to be starting on a new ship today. There was a bunch I looked at the last time that were available to us. We didn't pick one. And I believe because the game is reloaded, it's going to reshuffle those ships. I didn't check actually if it Did it save my skill points? It did. That's great. Let's get out of here. Let's take a look at what's available. Cool, there's a javelin available. So strictly speaking, this Atlas here has more LT, but I mean, it's only a point. Same value. Okay, we have thruster class tier. I don't like dealing with the quasar thrusters, where you basically have to dive down this tunnel of fire. No thank you. Admittedly, this one only has the one. It doesn't have. I don't think it has three of them, so it's less of a hassle. But you know, let's do a different ship. This one has giant fuel tanks. We have 3 tethers, so we really should just buy more tethers right away. Okay, so there's a lot of easy money on this one. You gotta be careful because you can cut these iron tanks, which you don't want to do, because then you lose a whole bunch of value. I'm just going to drift across. Last one I think I've got a shot. I'm just going to go straight down. Now what I like to do with these is I just like rotate so they're basically on the vertical. And then I don't need to rotate. Everything lines up. Whoops, nice and simple. Oops. I don't know why I'm forward there. By which I mean I don't know why I pressed to go forward. Alright. Excellent. Which way is up? That way's up. We're just gonna start them moving. You're better off just tagging these, I guess. They're just way too big to make any kind of real progress. Now, you could theoretically keep these 3 things connected to each other and just cut off their connections. But they would be ginormous. Basically never maneuver them successfully into the thing. Oh, yeah, okay, we've got a little bit of pressurization. It looks like mostly just the airlocks. Whoops, wrong button. Let's try that again. There we go. Now these fuel tanks. If you nick them with the cutter, they will go boom, and you will be a sad panda. And that's the end of it, really. Because they will not go boom by themselves. They will take stuff with them. Is there anything underneath? Looks like no. Now what you can do that's kind of funny is if you pop this off here, the engine will shoot straight out, and if you're fast, you can catch it. That's not necessarily the best idea. It's an idea. We can in fact just cut this off. This is already depressurized, so we don't need this to be. Right, but the airlock was pressurized. I forgot about that. But the airlock is such a tiny amount of air, it doesn't actually matter. And this just gets us another way in. This is maybe not the best way to do this because now it's no longer stable. It's now free floating, so maybe this was a silly idea. But, you know, it's fine. Half of the stuff in here is going to go down below into the barge. There we go. And that'll take that window off. This stuff is really easy to clear out. It's a quick gain. Have I seen that poster? I don't think so. Down you go. Let's grab the panel. Console, whatever terminology you prefer. Turn the torch on. Unfortunately, there's no batteries for the... I can't pick them up yet. No, I can't. There's no batteries for the torch. It would be kind of silly given there's only 15 minutes to your shift. I think that's everything burned the light. Sure, we'll grab the light. And this is done. And we'll refill our O2 real quick. And we're just halfway through our shift. I really dislike the way this arrow goes to your center screen when you click in here, because if you jump in here real quick and try to buy, you may end up buying thruster fuel, because this will automatically highlight if you even slightly nudge the mouse. So I think that's not a great UI choice. Not a big deal. Small deal. Very small. Alright, the airlock has pressure, which is fine. I used to get really fixated on these ladders, but like, come on, it's $100. The only reason ladders are worth getting rid of is just, you know, if you want to bring up something through the airlock, it gets them out of the way. Okay, that's pressurized. That's not. So what we can do to move things along quickly, I assume, is there an atmosphere regulator in here? I don't see one. So the only way to regulate the atmosphere, to depressurize this place, is by forcibly depressurizing it, which is, you know, all fun and games until somebody uses an eye. So when you press Z or X, you will grab onto things to stop yourself being blown away. So what you want to do is you want to hit. Fortunately, there was no air in here. Like, there was no real objects in there to fly around. So, yeah, we're fine. And now we can start disassembling the hull. Now, if you recall, on the very front of the ship, there's a big kind of ring thing going around the outside that was holding the iron ring in place. This is the anchor point for that. Not the anchor point, sorry. It's the anchor point for the struts that are holding the ion ring in place, which means it's in the way of the structural frame. I guess it's easier to show you. This thing, right, that goes all the way around. And you're not getting that off until you remove these. Off you go, on your way. And then we can lift this guy up as well. I'm just going to tether it, get it out of here. So this you're going to want to pull forward. Your hab is kind of locked in space, in place. There we go. And you're frequently going to want to use tethers and pairs like this to stabilize things. Otherwise, stuff is going to go off in all sorts of random directions. Oftentimes it doesn't matter, like a single point of contact is fine. But you'll often want to stabilize them a little bit. I don't know that's going to make it all the way, because it's slow. That's fine, should make it. Break. I like throwing two on there just to speed them along. I'm not sure the second one connected correctly. See why these lights come on once it's disconnected? We're not loose? 4,000, 56,000, you should be loose. Yeah, you are loose. Don't be messing with me. Lights hit and turn on. I could have sworn that those lights used to turn on when you pulled the battery. I think they know. I'm very confident that they used to. Whoops. Uh-oh. Fortunately, the range on this is still quite short. But that was very close to taking those fuel canisters, because I was being very cautious. And just firing my little laser beams. Now, yeah, that airlock's still pressurized, so what I want to do is I want to come out and I want to... Whoops. I want to depressurize it. I just open the door again, just so we don't have any explosive decompression. Damn it! That's what I meant to do. Going too high? You're fine. You're still connected. Alright, and we're zooming. That's a third of the ship done. Conservative Party of BC sending me lies via text message. Isn't that great? And I'm just going to go straight out. I'm not even going to look at my equipment. Yeah, we'll continue that ship. Thank you. I'm just going to get some water. Alright, what are our tethers looking like? We got loads. And everything turns on. It would probably help if I pressed the right buttons, eh? Just a smidge. Oh, you're still attached. Okay. Well. A little bit more precise. Alright, now that airlock is probably, yeah, has pressure as well. So if I had cut that while it was pressurized, the whole top half of this would have like jetted off with the airlock, because the airlock's only connected to one side, right? So from the airlock up would have literally jetted off into the air, which, you know, it has its value as comedy, but it's not very helpful when you're trying to disassemble the thing. Let's get this silly ladder out of the way. Is there a second ladder in here? There is. I am going to ignore it because it's useless. Oh, we are working. Excellent. I was worried that it was broken for a sec. I guess I'm coming out anyway. It didn't cost me any real time, any extra time, not really. Alright, now we're going to be cooking behind that window. Release. And there's no panel on the inside of that. Console, I should say. So you see, there's a console in there, but since it's going to the barge anyway, there's no need to take it out separately. You know, save yourself a little hassle. These guys do need to come out. And of course, they're worth a significant amount of money. Like, these are 78k for that much time and effort. Practically zero. Crap. I'm gonna end up breaking something if I'm not careful. Should be another one. There it is. Whoop. Okay, so this whole room is going to go into the furnace, right? Because there's nothing in here that's going anywhere else. Oh, there's another one. That is one thing you want to make sure you do. You want to make sure you check all the walls for all possible consoles, door consoles. There's nothing down there, and since the arrow was on this one, there'll be nothing there. Excellent. Okay. This was going into the furnace anyway, so we didn't lose anything by cutting it. Well, except convenience. It would have been nice to keep it attached onto that. I'm going to cut that thing twice. Bloody hell. Let's get these sides off as well. And there may still be a connection down the bottom. Yep, there is. Now you can of course just melt this whole thing. See the way the whole thing lights up? That's a waste. I mean, it's only worth 28k. So, like, less than one of those door consoles. But they're relatively easy to take care of. Whoops. By take care of, I mean remove. But again, you don't really have to, because this is all going into the furnace. This is all, well, this is all going into the furnace. So you might ask yourself, well, why would I remove it? Well, you would remove it because it's connected to something that is not going to the furnace. Whoops. There we go. Oh, you're attached to something. Right. So we got to remove all these. Now, watch out for the. Notice I can't disconnect the pipe from the storage bin, but I can disconnect the storage bin from the pipe. See, they're disconnected now. It's just kind of weird. It's just the way the game is. You would think if you can disconnect A from B, you should be able to disconnect B from A. Yeah, not the case. Sometimes there's an order of operations. And now our lights are on. I can never remember what triggers those lights. Alright. Come on, up you come. Now, where the cutting is going to happen, and yeah, I do hear the alarm, don't worry. With regards to this, is we're going to start cutting these legs, because we're just going to take this whole other thing as a giant lump. Alright, we're going to be cutting this maybe a smidge close. Now we're fine. And with 7 minutes left on our shift when we refuel, that means our tank will last us to the end of the shift. Probably without an alarm, maybe a small, maybe just the start of the alarm. Alright. So the trick to efficiency in this game is kind of cutting as few things loose as possible. Right, so this table needs to go into the furnace, and so does the room, so don't disconnect the table from the room. Now, here's where we need to be careful that we don't also set the fuel tank on fire. And really, a more sensible person than me would have disconnected the fuel tank first. But I clearly like to live dangerously. And let's just get this all the way over here. Let's get it out of the way. Right, just hit the road, Jack. I'm not going to try and maneuver that into the furnace past all of these, because I feel like that's just a disaster waiting to happen. Now this says the total mass, if you look at it in the middle, says 34,000 kilograms, which means it's all connected to the superstructure. So we got to figure out where in the superstructure it's connected and remove that. It's connected here. The silly way to cut that would be to come at it from this angle with the stinger, right? That's just asking to blow stuff up. The more sensible way is to come at it from as close to directly above as you can. So when the stinger cuts through, it doesn't hit the fuel tank. Fingers crossed. And again, you see the way my graphic there is cutting through that structure pipe at the top. If you do that with a fuel tank, I'm pretty sure you will be a very sorry person. I'm pretty sure that even though that's not interacting with the structure, like I can do this all day. And look, that structure is not heating up at all, right? So as far as the game's concerned, it's not intersecting with it. Like if this were a different kind of game, we could talk about hitboxes, right? Well, I guess we can talk about hitboxes anyway, just as a general gaming concept. Oh, now see, I didn't want that at all. Come on. Come on. Nope. Now that's a pain in the butt. So it's snagged. Can I disconnect this in some way? No. Fuel clamp. I don't think I can cut the fuel clamp without blowing things up. So really what I need to do here is I'm gonna take out the cut points. And just take the whole thing with it. Because who gives a damn if this aluminium aluminium structure ends up in the barge. Doesn't matter. Not even a little. Anything up top, nothing up top, so there should be some stuff on the other side. Look, I'm not going to get paid the 2,000 bucks or whatever it is for it. There we go. All right, it's attached to the very back. That's very annoying. Okay, so we want to be real careful. We're not clipping the tank. That looked like it was really close. There we go, we're coming out now. Out you come. And then we're going to bring it down. And the fuel tanks, you know, they're worth like 117 grand each. So that's a big chunk of change. You are not connected to anything, so you can also be sent off over there. And let's send that real quick, just so it starts moving. Dun 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 dun. And we are getting there. That's, you know, from the outside perspective, from the external view of the ship, that looks like it's close to 2/3 of the ship, maybe about 60%. But on the value of the ship, it's less than half, because the reactor is where the money is. Oh, it's still a Class 1 reactor, though. Yeah, there's not much reactor value in there at all, actually. You need a repair. So, as you may have noticed, range on the Stinger is kind of a two-edged sword, double-edged sword, because you can end up hitting that thing behind it. So be careful about just automatically buying upgrades and upgrading the Stinger. Because you could end up like very sorry. I lost 42k in structure. That would be all the structure that was around the fuel tanks. Which I'm fine with losing. I don't care about that in the slightest. Are you going in? Yeah, you're going in and you're zooming off. I think just because it's got a long way to go, I'm going to add another tether real quick. And we're open. Excellent. So we're going to pull the panel, the console. Oh, wait, where? Oh, it's down there on the bottom. Okay, yeah, no, it's still a Type 1 reactor. Okay, so there's still not very much money in here. Now, it's pressurized in there. Now, if I'd been sensible and left the console on the outside, we could have closed that and repressurized the inside of this. But there's no easy way to depressurize it, so really we're just going to have to blow it. Well, that's a nightmare. Okay, we're gonna have to do this the hard way. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. And I haven't done this in a long time, so this may go poorly. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the cap off of this. Now, the explosive decompression is going to send the thruster shooting out of here like a rocket. So I need to switch over to the grapple and grab it before it cracks into that wall. I don't know if it'll be destroyed. I've never let it happen before. We might end up finding out today. There we go. Job well done. I hate doing that. The other option would have been to pop, like, slice the door open from the inside. But I was worried about stuff, the engine, the thruster, or something just smacking into the reactor. Why wasn't I worried about it doing from the other end? Because it's kind of... I don't know why I wasn't. This just seemed the safer option to me. It may not actually be the safer option, but it seemed like it. Okay. And our tether should pull this away. Perfect. What's with the heavy breathing? We're fine. The reactor's been taken care of. It's gone. Now, another way to deal with this is you don't need to separate these rings. It's a little bit more efficient. You can just separate them, the rings from each other, along the top and bottom. Right. And that way you can have the ring, the whole ring, and the sides. And that way you can just send the whole ring off to the processor in one lump, in one go. Like so. See? And that's a bit more efficient than trying to slice them up, right, and doing them in bits and pieces. With the exception, like now, you got to kind of slide this thing off first. But that's a very minor quibble. Everything here is decompressed. That is good. Over here now. And we are almost done with this ship. you? You're at 10,000, 10,000. Okay, you're all connected still. And we should drag you up there. Just so we don't have any accidental furnace stuff happening. Now, what are we connected to? Ah, wait, we're connected here. Still connected, probably on the other side. Check. Still connected, probably on the bottom. There it is. And now we're loose. Now, the way that is, that's going to be kind of awkward to pull away from the housing. So we should pull the housing away from it. So we're going to go get some oxygen, and while we're doing that, we're going to leave that to be towed over there. There we go. Yeah. Alright. And that's probably far enough. I should probably cut the tether, but I want to make sure it's clear. Yeah, it's totally clear. Let's do that. Let's do that. What am I missing? I seem to be missing something that's high value. Did I send something off the ceiling somewhere? I don't think I did. I don't think... Is the hole really worth that much? Well, maybe it is. So I'm pretty sure the stuff that's left is minor. Definitely the structure that's left is minor, like the end, this thing that I'm pointing at right here. The, should we say, the cabins? That's very minor. Oh, the filter, the air filter. That's not fun. Floating light bulbs. I don't care about. I'm going to mess with just because I can. And down it goes. There we go. There's the. And then, you know, the rest of it just comes apart in the way that I've already taken a lot of stuff apart. I should probably do this from the outside. What's with the freeze? Don't like that at all. Now, it used to be the case, I don't know if it's still the case, these fuel pipes used to catch on fire. So I'm actually going to test that. I guess I'm better off testing with the stinger, right? That's the thing that'll really set it on fire. No? Okay. Maybe that was fixed. That might have been an early access thing, but even those loose ones used to just burst into flame if you cut them accidentally. Nice to know that it's not really the case anymore. Yeah, no. Cut in half and still worth money. That's the song says. How bizarre. Just to wrap up our time here. Let's get rid of these computer terminals. What's this worth? 4,000. I'm not wasting my time with that. And we're just going to send this off now into the furnace. And just for speed, let's throw another one there. And I might grab anything that floats out if there's anything that needs to go into the barge. But beyond that, we're done here. Alrighty, I'm going to wrap it up there. That's all for today's video. Burn, baby, burn. And we'll check out the skill progression and XP next session. Because yeah, we've hit certificate 8. Oh, actually, while we're out here, there was a seat right there. Taped to the back. And when you hack them, defrag them, decrypt them, whatever it is you're doing with the computer software, they're mostly like how the game's background gets filled in, like their pictures about the world or their news reports or stuff like that. They're kind of cool. I think that one in particular is about the unionization effort. I don't recall off the top of my head. But anywho, that's it for today. See you next time.